I've had a bit of a rough go the last, I don't know, week or whatever health wise, but I'm starting to feel a little bit better, and so I wanted to stream and get the word out to the people, being you. So, how are you guys doing? I was just hanging out over on the Kenny Edwards and Danny Edwards stream, of course, earlier, and now it being Sunday night, I don't know what to do with myself. Will you guys be my friends? Aloha, what's going on? Eugene, hello. Mike, hello. Osiriana, hello. Michael Myers or M. Myers, hello. He's a maniac, maniac. Yes, I am. Let's see here. Holly, what's going on, Alex? If you're not feeling well enough to put up with freaks, just blink twice. We understand. No, I'm gonna do this evening as long as I can, and I want to. I miss y'all. I just feels wrong. Like earlier in the week, it was the Tuesday stream happened on Wednesday, and then the Friday stream didn't happen at all. And I thought it might happen on Saturday, yesterday, but our internet was out from Friday all the way until midday today. Comcast, just no answer why, just no signal whatsoever on like internet, phone, wireless, nothing in the area. So that was unfortunate and kind of scary how they own like everything in our area pretty much, unless you've got what, Starlink or something. Um, It is, yeah, Andy says it is Alex for Alex. Or it is Alex for Alex to Alex. No, it is normal for Alex to start 15 minutes after the start time listed. It gives people time to settle in. Yeah, no, a lot of times I'll say that I'm starting a stream at 7:45. That usually means 8. If it's an impromptu stream, definitely, and then also, just if it depends on another guest coming, and then once the alerts go out, it's because YouTube doesn't send the alerts out hardly at all anymore. And so I hope that usually more people get the word by the time that, a couple minutes have gone out and the alert slash stream have been up for a minute. Works a little, maybe not the best. Maybe I should just give up on that. Louise Live Bears, what is going on? How's it going? Jack Barlow, Stephen P, 2020, hello. Time for some fishery. 186 element, what's going on, brother? Also, Coro coming in with the links, the helpful links. I we need to do on the Discord page. We've got access now where we can do all these like entertaining little things, but one of them is like stickers and emojis, and I want to do a helpful links, and I want it to be like a wild mountain cat, like a lynx, and it'd be a helpful lynx that's there to help you. But I don't know how to communicate that visually, like it being a lynx in like a with a monocle and a top hat and a like Ask Jeeves outfit on. So, yes, the helpful lynx. So what's going on? Like Clippy, but a lynx. That's right, exactly. Hey, Kenny, what's going on, brother? So, what I want to show you guys, you probably heard it, saw it, whatever. You probably know all about the fact that I have plans to be redoing the fish room. So, I got one 2.5 gallon tank outside, another 2.5 there, another 2.5 there. Then I got a 5.5, a 5.5, a 10, and a 20 long. And then I got a 5.5 in the other room ready to go, and a 65 ready to go. So the whole plan here is not quite known yet. I do want to brush up on this aquarium and fix it up. It is 7 years old, the substrate, and this one is 7 or 8 years old. And I want to touch up the substrate at the very least, or kind of like revamp it. But I'll worry about that later. For now, there's a lot of fish living in here. Everybody's healthy, happy, and things are still fine. But what I'm really kind of tired of, or what I really want to redo, and I want your input and help. Sorry about the humidity in here. Is these tanks in here. And specifically, so we've got 2 racks, and then this summer we had the roof literally completely replaced. When we did that, though, it was all because of the fact that the roof had been leaking, and this plaster ceiling and then sheetrock or drywall, it had molded up above. So the water was coming through right here, right there, and it never like flooded through, but it was dripping down the walls. And so I painted all of that. We put dehumidifiers in here and all that good stuff, obviously. But even though we sealed it, we got up in the attic and we sealed it, we need to cut now all that ceiling out and replace this ceiling, because the ceiling is warped all over the place and has like spots where somebody in the attic, for instance, probably just like their knee went and stepped right through. Um, the whole house is like this, though. In the unfortunately up in the layer next to the ceiling. So, in any case, I got to figure out when I'm gonna do that, how I'm gonna do that. Do I just want to patch it now and then just leave the food culture tanks up here? Because these tanks don't really require much other than, I mean, these tanks are the definition of expired in care. They are just a place where I toss extra plant clippings and where all my live food for my fish and shrimp. I've got green water culture, Daphnia in one. I've got actual full-grown Malawa shrimp and scuds in another, and then a different kind of crustacean seed shrimp in here. And then we've got yet another kind of seed or of scud here, Gammaris pulex or pulex. So basically, this tank also 7 or 8 years. I keep the water down, but usually not that extreme. I keep the water down to about here or more, just so that they don't jump out. But since it's mostly rainbow fish in here, but I really would like these apistos to breed, or these white chin gobies from China. I'd like to see them breed also. I don't know. We'll see. This is just sand substrate, though. It's nothing nutritious, delicious. Nothing special to grow there. And then, like this tank here, you can see all the growth of the Claudophora algae. And right now we've got goodeids in here and a couple other oddball fish just chilling in here. And then here we've got a betta tank where basically there's, I don't know, 7 or 8 wild betta. Here we've got chili rasboras just as an experiment to see how they're doing. So really, like, none of these tanks are like crucial. I'll probably just leave the bettas because, I mean, they're spawning in a tank with no filtration. The goodeids, kind of same thing. They're doing okay, even though I'm not really stoked on this tank. I just brought 24 babies to the auction. This tank up here, if I can find a female, then I will. And the betta compuncta malak would start breeding. That would be nice because I had them breed in the past. But then he killed the female. And then here we've got the betta mahachiensis. And there's a bunch of them, male and female, as you can see, obviously, living together in the same tank. They've already spawned in that tank. And so, yeah, but I'd like to have a tank where we could spawn these and actually collect their eggs from some spawn mops. Uh, the both the neon rainbows, the red neon or luminatus pseudomcgills, also the Gertrudii RU2s, and then the Sahulensis. So there's 3 species I'd like to spawn out at some point that are just kind of hanging out here. Then also would like to spawn. These are spawning. These are spawning. And then here we've got also metallic live bears and Malawa shrimp that are very, very, they're in very, very hard water. Uh, let's see here. And they are very, very dark colored. Here you can see just how dark some of these shrimp are. In this hardened water and dark substrate and everything, Malawa shrimp get very dark. So all the ones that are already in my blue line, they've gotten even more dark and everything because they already are the shrimp that are, have the disposition to have pigment. Then we've got rainbow fish down here, and they're kind of just assorted rainbow fish. More shrimp here, but this thing is overdue for a remodel. This is like 12 or 13-year-old substrate. Somebody brought it over and gave it to me when it was like 8 or 9 years old at my old house 4 years ago before we moved. Here you can see there's shrimp in here and stuff, but there's also just a ton of planaria. The substrate is totally out of whack and out of anything to grow, so it's just a useless bog. And right now I've got the guts of all the sponge filter pumps that could be running showing here, but literally we only have like 2 or 3 that are doing anything. Like this one's not working, this one's not working, these aren't working, this has no filter even though it's got a hang on the back. I mean, this tank here and this tank here, I think, are the only 2 in this room that have any filtration. And then also there's this little tank over here that we've got some elastomas in, which I just got the other day. This is also my blue Malawa colony, what's left of it, but I need to get them separated because these fish are eating every single baby and even mid-sized little shrimp they're eating quickly. And then over here, this tank's about 3.5 years old, the substrate, but I think we still have a little bit of time on it. I just think I need to clean up this, and I need to just say, hey, I think we're going to take all this delicious mulm that in a nature tank you generally want to save and have it build up and have this big anoxic layer with all this nutrients. I think we're going to gravel vac it back down because this aqua soil is still intact. So it actually can be anoxic on its own without me having to do anything, with the deep substrate. It will be anoxic. I've done videos on aqua soil, and the great thing about ADA aqua soil or the higher end aqua soils is that they are already at the center anoxic, and they already perform the backwards process. So they already are, the clay at the center is storing the nitrates turned into nitrites turned into ammonia. So the center of each pellet has ammonia in it after a year or so, which obviously we're at that point. And then the plant roots are growing into those, grabbing each little pellet and squeezing it, basically popping it and or drilling into it, and then it turns to dust, and then that's all she wrote. But at this point, a lot of them are still intact, and we have just basically years of settling going on. And this tank, only for the first 6 months did it have highlight and CO2 running in it. And then after that, it got this really dim light. And we had a carpet of grass that was growing that I've now removed. And I was just curious to see what was left under that carpet. And now I see, and I am thinking, okay, well, we could do some low intensity, lower light crypts and things. And even with all that being said, I have a light for it right here that was on it that is fine. It's just the cord got ripped out of the end, like right here. It got ripped out. So it needs to be rewired. Then we have this super big lamp right here that's turned into a mess of just stuff, of food and stuff. Also, we have this 40 breeder, and again, I'm just overwhelmed, to be honest. The years on this tank it's coming up on, I guess, what would that be, 6 or 7 years? And no filter or anything running, but I do put water in it so that the media is viable-ish, maybe. But right now, you can see how dirty it is, how many snails are on it, and you can also see the substrate is just black. Basically tan, then black, then sand. And it's real tapped out. Basically, low yield crypts are going to grow out of it. Even Cypress hellfry just kind of fell out. None of the Rotalas, Ludwigias, nothing like that wants to grow in there anymore. So it is probably time to reset that. Also, this needs to be reset. This is the like crab tank that we had going, and it needs to be reset. And then we have the wild molly tank, and this tank is fine. It's a relatively new one, and it will stay. I mean, it doesn't need to stay in that position. But then we come to another conundrum, which is this tank, which is a 16.5 gallon, but its footprint is the size of a 10 gallon. It's just much taller than a 10 gallon. And it is basically, it's got the Negro fasciatus danios in it, which are these navy blue guys. And then it also has the checkerboard cichlids and some bandit cories, and the filter hasn't been running or anything for a while. There's one oddball minnow in there. Again, the checkerboard cichlid. There's the male. Here's a little female. And there are also some gouramis in here floating around that are honey gouramis. And they are the like wild variety versus the tame variety. And then we've also got some meta tetras. So tetra mate, Hypha sobercon mate is what they're called. And then here we've got the little honey gouramis. This is what the wild ones look like when they're not yellow, like the ones that you're used to probably seeing at like Petco, PetSmart, most even local fish stores. They carry only the variety with color, the bright yellows and oranges their whole life. And actually, that's only the color they turn when they're spawning normally. So then we come to this tank, which used to have a 20 long back here, side by side. And I'm almost done explaining all this, you guys. But this used to have another 20 long back here. So it's kind of like, what do we do with this rimless? I want to redo it and do like an Iwagumi aquascape and maybe a Brazilian aquascape or something in another one that size. But I'm just trying to debate, what do we do? Do we move these around? Or do we mostly keep all of this because that's what we wanted to do, and we scoot some of this stuff over on the top? But I've uploaded to the Discord a picture of this whole rack and of the middle here, which I'd like to move this maybe down a level and then add maybe a 29 gallon right here, maybe get a different piece of furniture. And then at the very bottom have medications and stuff like there are now. But this 40, I want to either reset or something. But I mean, I kind of want to just like remove it all. That's like my first inclination, is just to like reset everything other than that tank. And I mean, this one does well too, but, and not that there's anything wrong with like where I'm breeding the bettas here, or I'm breeding the glass belly mollies, or I mean guppies. Um, Kenny says get 650 talls and call it good. Yeah. I mean, I'm just torn. Like, I've got all these filters even too, like ready to go. Like, these are ready to you know, and I also even have like, they're not plugged into anything. Most of them are just turned off or knotted off. And these things right here are not, it's a 14 outlet thing. And yeah, and I mean, so here I've got a couple or not guppies, a couple cichlids that of course I'm gonna save, and the bettas I'm not gonna get rid of. I'm not gonna get rid of the lake inlay loaches, or, you know, basically every fish in here. I enjoy these fish. I'm just tired of this tank layout. I mean, it's all been guppy grass and kabamba, like just the same Potamogeton gayi. It's been the same kind of stuff. Water lettuce in all these tanks, and then Saswasser tang mixed with Java moss in all the tanks that are breeding tanks. So yeah, exactly. All the tanks are looking the same. Non-abnormal. Yeah, exactly. Um, Alex, keep the meds up away from the kitten. She will get into... Yeah, the kitten's not allowed in here. And methylene blue, and then also I've got some API meds right here. But literally, like, this is a new tank and kit that I'm ready to set up. So I got a lot of tanks ready to set up, and I can literally just toss some of these old tanks that are going to be like, this one would be way more work to clean than it would be to just spend the $11 to get a new one that's on sale right now. So, I mean, I really, though, am missing doing like some CO2, doing a nice like aquascape tank or two. And so what I'm thinking in my head, in my heart, and in my head, in my head, and in my heart, you know, what I'm thinking is that I would do maybe I'll figure out this might actually get turned sideways. I don't know. It's actually not quite long enough to do that. I don't know. Maybe I'd take this down and turn this into 210s worth of space, like it is down here. Like maybe condense most of it and then take the cichlids out of it and put them in an aquascape. But to do that, I mean, what I could do then though is take this and buy another rimless tank like this one, and I could do aquascape, share all the wiring and everything there. Then I could do my little breeder tanks up here and or shrimp tanks up here. I'm kind of thinking of doing that. Then we could fire this up eventually and have a 65 discus or blackwater tank. I think the 40 breeder, because it's on the bottom, as much as I want to utilize all that space to do a big interesting tank, I think it's just going to stay like a grow out tank. As it kind of has, this has been my QT / oddball fish tank / like that Betty White is an angel that kills everything that she comes into contact with. So if it survives Betty White, then it's tough enough that I deem it worthy to live in other tanks, essentially. And that's kind of where she came from. You know, the other thing is that I still really do enjoy, like, the fact that I am experimenting with culturing all live food here for these fish. I do think that that's really fun to observe, and the way that I'm like gravel backing with the same turkey baster that I use to feed them, and then I just kind of like disrupt everything. And then I take the water that's dirty and I just literally pump it right back up into the tanks where I'm getting the critters as food. I like how this whole system works. And, you know, here we go. Here's the Apistos eating right now. They seem really happy, healthy, and colorful when I give them this kind of smorgasbord of different options. And then we got the little gobies in here. Anyways, I want to get some like Stiphodon and other fish back into an ecosystem in this room as well. But I'm just torn because I can't see a tank that's turned this way if it's a big tank, you know. I only see a small little picture of it. And that's fine if it's for grow out or breeding, but what for teaching you guys or showing you guys what I'm up to and what I'm learning and all this kind of stuff and just making it look nice. Because, like, right now, this place is just like a wreck. I don't know what to do. So, anyways, I uploaded pictures of it onto the Discord in the the free all chats or whatever you want to call it, like everybody open chat, I guess it's called. And basically, if you want to like look at it, I've got listed how many of each kind I have, and I think I might even be cutting out on grid paper soon like a version of all of this, and then that way I could play with it a little bit. Hey, look at this cichlid looking at the shrimp. But anyways, then I could play with it all, and I could move the pieces around almost like a board game, right? And see with what works best, I guess. But I just basically the cichlids are what's most important out of that tank. And I'm just starting to realize, like, you know, oh, I want to keep the Liberty mollies, but I don't see them most of the time. They hide in the very back, so I'm just feeling a little bit defeated. Also, you know, just the bill, the power, the electricity, the space that's taken up. Um, I don't know. This room is I can heat the whole room and then that's that. I don't need to have heat in each tank, which is nice. Then as far as over here, it's like what do I want to do in here too is another big question. This aqua soil is very old, as I was saying. In the other video, we talked about it all in detail, but long story short, you got aqua soil here that's 7 to 8 years old. There are a ton of fish in here. Oh no, everybody has ick. Look at this. I just noticed ick. And if you guys recall, the place I got ick was Aquarium Co-op. I bought some uh, Madagascar rainbow fish, and their tank had ick, and I thought it was just them that might be weak, and that my fish must have given them the illness. But now I'm realizing no, because this and another tank, the net touched the scooping out of the bag, the water when I drained it out to get them out of there. So this means that those little cysts I see. Do we see any more down here? I mean, I don't know. We got to feed everyone tonight too. But in here, there's just tons of fish that come out of the woodwork, but they hide most of the day yet again. So even though I've got all these plants now, and we've got flowering plants, and we've got plants that I've crossed with one another, um, like that's cool and all, but like, what do you have to show for it if like everybody hides all day and stuff? So I want to have like a nice big old piece of wood, maybe retrim and portion out all new like this Anubias is monstrous. This Logonendra is huge. and I can't see it. It's just the leaves are just getting old, and then they're getting tattered and algae on them. The moss has inundated all the wood, but it to what end? It doesn't look cool. It's just hidden behind everything. And if I cut this down, then it's just a little bit of moss, and there's just roots behind. Anyways, so you guys get the point. I'm just feeling like I wish I could just like close my eyes and clap and just have it reset, like have all the tanks empty. Um, all right, I'm sorry I've abandoned the chat for so long, but now I will get back at you guys. Um, so, how are you guys doing? I'm sorry, I've abandoned my family. But was the cat? Yes, the cat is meowing. That's my lovely little kitty. She's lovely. She lets me sleep all I want and never does anything annoying. She's perfect. Come here, honey. So yeah, Stan Pittman, good to see you, buddy. But yeah, I went to PetSmart and I got some tanks. So that's how I kind of started this live stream. Was I showed some of the tanks slash I already have some tanks that are running that can be moved around, cleaned out, reset, whatever. But I'm just torn on what I even want to do and how quickly I can do it, like feasibly, in a good way, and also document it and all that. Honey, what's wrong? She's had like eye boogers. She's had eye boogers for the whole last 2 days, and I don't know what's up if she's irritated somehow, but she has been crawling like under the bed and under the couch and just coming out with the most dust bunnies all over her. And I think that finally something got in her eye that's annoyed her. Uh, Andrew Fishman says, "I'm all about the fish. Plants are a secondary consideration to what the fish require. If they like moss to spawn, they get moss. If they like broadleaves, they get Java for." Yeah, I can understand that point of view. Neo Veritas, hello. Fish Street, I think the new wall racks will make more space and offer better visibility for storage. DIY 2x4 style. I could do that. I mean, I could take out that middle, like, cabinet dresser, whatever, tank stand that has the lowboy on it, has the, like, 10-gallon lowboy on it. That's my oldest substrate, and I didn't even start it. It was just aqua soil in there for, I guess, its first 5 years, and then they put a sand cap over it and had plants growing in it, and then they brought it to me, and then I kept it for the last 7 years after that. So it's been so spent for so long. But yeah, those racks are odd. What I did with those racks is they're 4 foot by 2 foot, so they're 2 foot deep, 4 foot wide, and then it's over 6 feet tall. But I spaced it so that basically I have a bottom one for a 40 breeder or a 55. A 55 will just barely fit if I put it in, like if the wood that is the shelf above it that sits on top, if I take that wood out, turn it and slide it out, I can then just barely sneak it in and fit a 55. Like it fits just in the dimensions there. But I think I'm going to keep it with 40 breeders just so it's not a nightmare to deal with. She's allergic to me. Yeah, she might be allergic to me. Um, the Aquascape racks, they freak me out too. And so these racks are good weight wise. If I were to put a 40-gallon breeder on every shelf, they could hold that and double that. and then another 20%. So that was for me like the minimum was at least double the weight that I put on them should they say they're good to hold. But that was with the original hardware. What I did is I went and I bought marine plywood that has been laminated against the grain, so they stack it in 1/8 of an inch veneers, basically, that are all one sheet, a 4 foot by 2 foot sheet of planed wood, old big pieces of wood, and they wobble on their own. And this stuff's expensive, but they take each one and they soak it in like a lacquer or varnish type thing, and then they glue it, and then they put the next piece of wood exactly the opposite. The grain goes 90 degrees to it like this. Then the next one, it's gonna go not this way, but this way, and then 90 degrees to it this way. And there's a total of all of that going on twice. So it's like 8 layers into, about less than an inch, 3/4 of an inch thick. But it's also waterproof, and it's used to make little walls and cabinets and little cuddies and or cubby areas and stuff, or little sitting areas in sailboats and stuff like that. And Seattle's big on that hobby, but they're really handy, those things. Also, that is why I'm not so worried about the tanks like rotting and falling through or anything like that. They've held up really well. Now, this is her. Every day, being a kitten, basically, a 6-month-old cat, she has a new favorite thing to do for trouble. And we try and we try and we say no, no, no. And we try positive reinforcement and treats. We tried no and tossing her down. We've tried, you name it. We've tried it. We tried vinegar. She'll literally drink vinegar out of a bowl for bread. So she does not care about the vinegar thing, or vinaigrette or garlic or any of that stuff. Water, doesn't care. She just jumped in the shower with me last night, which was surprised me, that's for sure. Okay, now she's standing on the trash can. I've never seen her do that. That's weird. Now she's in the window. If she slides that whole jar of pennies off, I'm gonna be really annoyed, because that'd be glass and pennies all over the place. But it's pretty heavy. I don't think she can do that. She only weighs like 3.5 pounds or something. How much does she weigh, honey? 4 pounds. But yeah, so she's up here causing trouble. Come on, go play with your toys or something. Go do that. Oh yeah, so Kelsey, I agree. Go try the double-sided tape. Yeah, we did that. We also tried foil. We also tried, what else did we try? Pennies in a jar. We tried little tape loops. We tried this kind of tape. We have tried all sorts of things. We have tried foil. We've tried wax paper. None of it phases her in the least. In fact, she actually took the double-sided tape and rubbed her face on it, as if like that was scratching an itch, and it like pulled out, not like a ton, but it pulled out like little bits of her hair. So it was like brushing herself. She's just a mad cat as far as like what she does to set it off. Also, she right now is not interested in the cat palm, and it's not poisonous, which is good. But like that had to be moved. The papyrus had to be moved all the way up there because she chewed like 6 of them off. And yeah, so she's a little handful. We took her to the vet, and the vet was like, "Oh, I want that kitty," and I was like, "Yeah, sure you do. You can have her." No, we love our kitty, but she is a handful. And she's just a rebel. I don't know how else to say it. Like, Where did that double-sided tape go? It's called alien tape, the stuff that we tried using. I mean, we tried normal double-sided tape, then we tried this alien tape that has like...
Closet, in the drawer, or on top of the drawer.
Okay. Also, then she has Pretty Kitty, kitty litter, which is like when she pees on it, it makes a rainbow. No, it turns colors based on the pH. Oh yeah, so here. This is the stuff we used on the counter, and it's real thick. I mean, each layer of this tape is like a gel coating, and it's like I don't know, like a putty, but we put several strips on it right where she jumps up, and yeah. You know, she used to be really scared of like the washing machine or like the vacuum, things like that. Oh, dun dun dun. Yes, he doesn't look like her eye is all red. Okay, I'll give her privacy. But she's just not actually, like right there, she's not actually going to the bathroom. She's just messing up the litter box so that I'll have a chore to do. Yeah, guys, if you haven't hit that like button and you like watching close ups of cats pooping, do that. Because I hear YouTube does not have enough close ups of cat poop going on. In fact, I hear they are planning on censoring it, if you can believe that. And she's back. And she's right where I didn't want her to be because I don't even know what good could come from her being there other than that she sees her food hidden up there. And I think she's going to make the move over to where our recycle stuff is. I think she's going to jump over it and up there. Monster Fish Gal. Lori, I'm doing okay. You know, like I said, I've been fighting the fight with pain and whoa, she just jumped from the little red table across to here. Also, the other day she got burned. She stepped on the stove and she instead of going ow and running away, she stepped on it, went ow and like stepped back like you'd expect. And then she got mad and touched it again. And I was like, oh, gosh. So I don't know what to do with her. There's the scat air spray device. People say work, but I rather give things that my cat is more interested in. Yeah, well, I try that, and you know, I can do that to a certain degree. But just no matter what, she's always getting into something. Like right now, stop, 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 stop. What are you eating? What did you just eat, honey? She's eating salad with olive oil on it. I mean, it's lettuce. And that's what she's eating. So I'm going to put it upside down so she can't get to it. But she'll eat anything. She has like a bizarre oral fixation and with eating everything. I mean, she'll also eat eggs. She'll eat donuts or you know cinnamon rolls. I mean, she'll eat a gummy bear she ate last night. I was like, are you kidding me? So yeah, I'm worried for her about the levels of natural selection that seem to be going on here, but I don't know. That's yeah, that's Seattle for you. Even the cats are vegan. Yeah, that's right. She's not vegan though. She will eat whatever and you know, as much of it as she can get her hands on. The other thing that she absolutely adores is ketchup, which is like, what are you doing? This is why fish are easier to keep than cats by a long shot. I'm definitely gonna tell you that. I'm trying right now to keep her out of trouble just while the live stream goes, just while I have the energy to be up and next to her. And just picking her up, she sounds like, I'm gonna die. When I take her out of the area where she wants to play or wants to chew on wires or eat. Oh, the other thing that she does too, though, that is good is she loves spiders. So she will find spiders and she will actually look for like cobwebs and she'll put her nose right in there and go like this and try to eat, like chew or bite at them, and she'll come out of the corner or out of like a shoe or whatever, some old thing, some old dusty corner of the house or under a radiator, and she'll have cobwebs all over her face. She'll be sneezing sometimes. Her nose will be all, oh, hi again. And she'll be eating, you'll just see spider legs. So, I mean, that's a win. I feel like that's a win. Um, that part of it. But I never know now. Like, should I kiss her? Like, I don't know. It might be a trap. And like now she's gonna try to take my Dr. Pepper if I open it. And you at first she was scared. This noise scared her, but now she's not. Like she learns instantly not to be scared. Like one second time she hears something, she's fine. I haven't found anything yet that is like, you know, chalk on a chalkboard or whatever you want to call it, to her. Nothing yet. I'll find her. I'll find her kryptonite eventually. Alex, are you getting zebra plecos? Probably not. Um, I just don't have the urge to sell them for profit. There's a lot of people selling them for profit now around here and around the country, and they're being bred in good numbers industrially. Like the actual fish hobbyists, the or fish industry is breeding them in. Um, yeah, the L236s as well. Um, are being bred in numbers. Just hanging out. They're just lost in the tank of all the algae and stuff. I see them once in a blue moon when I feed them. If you know, if I turn my flashlight on my phone and it's 3 in the morning and I throw in some algae wafers, I'll maybe see them for a second. But you know, they're little baby sized fit, not baby, but you know, 2 or 3 inch long fish, and that's about. I only have one, so you know I see it every so often. But my 236, you know, I bought four of them originally for like $300, and those all died. Like this was 2 years ago now or a year ago, but all those had died, but the one. So one just is a trooper and has kept on keeping on, but the other three, something happened right away, and like within a couple days, they all were gone. So yeah, do you like them enough to have? Uh, no, I'm probably not going to. I'm probably not going to raise any sort of plecos that are real expensive. Also, plecos just go to the bathroom a ton. I might raise some autocinkless or something smaller, some whiptails or some woodcats. I do like all those things. And I would like to do that. Plus, it's a little less common, and I'd like to share that with, you know, with the community, with the hobby, rather than stuff that there's a million videos on breeding ancestors, mine included, you know. But every YouTuber on FishTube has done a video on it. I feel like, um, but yeah, I'd like to cover some tracks or cover some ground that hasn't been covered yet, you know. Um, yeah, honeycomb catfish are super cool. Like, yeah, all of those catfish that are like the Tatias, the Tatia mosaica, the Tatia hexon, hexenia, and like you know There's the galaxy one. There's the one that looks like the orca. There's an all black one. There's a bunch. Uh, oh, right on, juicy Jess. Glad to hear it. The little anchor catfish. I do like those also. Hey, Cave of Wonder. Your bushfish ate your flagfish. Oh, wow. That's interesting. I've never, I mean, I wouldn't have expected that, but yeah, I guess bushfish are kind of like ambush predators. I just am surprised their mouth even opened big enough for whatever. Um, So I could do a brackish tank, but there wouldn't be plants in it other than maybe like mangrove tree roots. That's kind of all you can really do there. I mean, maybe I could do eelgrass or dune grass or something, but for the most part, you can't grow most plants in salt water or even just hard water or even acidic water for that matter. It's amazing what a narrow range of parameters life in the form of botanical plants exists in our rivers and streams. It's rather frightening, the delicate balance that exists. I don't know where else to go for advice, being my first time epistogramma to this. Uh, I got from my job a few weeks ago. A pair you got from work a few weeks ago. Oh, cool! You got a pair of Apistos. They're great. I mean, I think the main thing you can do is keep their water good quality, keep it on the mildly acidic side, and keep doing water changes. They're one that I wouldn't do like a father fish or Wallstad or lasagna, whatever you want to call it. You wouldn't want to do a long hands off style tank. They're one that if you can feed them small amounts 2 or 3 times a day of just a little bit of frozen food, a little bit of bloodworm, a little bit of Daphnia, a little bit of shrimp, and then get some baby brine shrimp or black worms or vinegar eels or something live in there. Once you think that they're fat and ready and they've paired off and they're showing like swimming together, then you want what you can do is you can get a cave that's pre-built, or you can get a little hut that's pre-built, and then you can bury the entrance halfway or even a little more so that they can barely see it. And for some reason, they really enjoy being the ones to excavate and clear out that pathway so that they're creating the little nook or cranny where their fry are going to be. And then you want to feed them the smaller food, small food like baby brine shrimp that's so small that it's even smaller than what they would tend to eat, because that shows them in their little fishy brains that yes, my babies will have food if we lay eggs. Then there's food for babies when it's time, and so I would do that. But the other thing you can do with a pistos is you can have a calm, like a little ember tetra or pencil fish or something like that in the tank. And that a lot of times when those fish are calmly going about their business, it's a good cue for your apistos as a dither fish so that they know, oh, those fish aren't freaking out. There's no predatory fish headed this way. So that can definitely help too. Uh, yeah, you can provide caves, and yet sometimes they'll still dig out their own. Yeah, that's right. I mean, they're funny that way. I love that about them. What are you doing, little kitty? Well, the cat has taken over the little pad that a lot of times I put my elbow on to avoid bursitis when I'm working on editing videos and stuff. Uh, Andrew Fishman says another good ditherfish are blue eyes, other small Australians. They're like yes, they do like same conditions. The thing about some of the little blue eyes is some of them can survive in brackish water and so forth, whereas obviously you want soft water for almost all apistos, and for pseudomcgills you want I mean, you can have medium, you can have or you can have intermediate like in the middle somewhere, or you can have hard water in some cases, or you can have soft water. It's kind of interesting. But if you get the like Gertrude, that works well also. But I would just recommend getting one that's interested in its own species, that jousts and flares and fights with its own species. So like the Gertrude RU2s or RU4s, something like that, or the Pseudomagil luminatus or the Pseudomagil furcatus. Any of those three definitely spin around in circles and the males show off and stuff, and that's great because they're not going to be concerned about going down and eating the eggs or hunting or any of that. Also, be aware if you have any planaria, like at any number in the tank. So don't allow food to sit there and get old and gross. Live feeding or frozen food feeding will help avoid this. But when you have like flake food that doesn't get eaten and it sits as little bits of dust in the aqua soil or in the gravel, a lot of times that can also cause like hydra, planaria, nematodes, detritus worms, all those sort of things. And then your fry have a hard time with those, let alone with whatever other issues they may have to fight. Um, but yeah, yes, and blue eyes, yeah, all the pseudomagills do have very small mouths, Melissa's, as Melissa mentioned too. Um, and Yeah, like thread fins are another one that has super small mouths. Or pencilfish, as I said at the beginning. They even have a Latin name that means small mouth, because they have small mouths. You're on the internet, little one. Do you want to say hello? Or are you getting ready for your big day? Oh, look at her. She's so unimpressed, and you're gonna fall off, honey. Jeez, what are you doing? You are gonna fall off there. Oh! Well, called that. She definitely fell off of there. Um, Boy, I don't know. Never a dull moment with this cat, that's for sure, right? And the little nose with the little dot, I know, she's a cutie patootie. Um, Another thing I want to mention to y'all is that, well, I'm going to log off soon, but I wanted to say that the Moonlight Aquatics, also Dan's Fish, obviously, Aquatic Arts, those are all great places too. Black Friday's coming up, and everybody always does something for that, or I don't know. Dan's doesn't always, but something goes on like that. Johnny Best, thanks for the change of tank mind. Yeah, sure, no problem. Um, you got to replace your tanks. You got to switch it up sometime. We are going to. Uh, oh, okay. Kid Kamikaze says drop the Discord. There is. There is, I don't know about Dan and or the Discord or the giveaway. I don't know what that is a reference. I mean, he gives away stuff on his channel like every day or every stream, but I'm sure if he knew that something was awry, I'm sure he would have made it right. But a lot of times people come at the beginning and they don't stick around for when the name gets pulled, and then he draws a different name. And there's been a few times when people have gotten uh yeah, frustrated, I guess. But hey, welcome from Indonesia. Right on, glad to hear it. Let's see here. I use play sand for my aquarium. It has pure sand, but yet on the other, uh he lost connection right as he was about to do the drawing, then did nothing. Oh, Was that last night? Or no, he does Wednesdays. I don't know. I was gonna say, I mean, I know the internet crashed when that fight was going on or whatever. There was all that going on Netflix or whatever. The internet and a bunch of servers fell apart. But uh, Kitty Cat, you gotta move, honey. Sorry. She entered, somehow she got DOS to come up on my computer. And I was like, what? How did you do this, cat? Um, but what I wanted to show you guys, oh, he sold out. I hope he gets more on Wednesday. That's my hope. But he got orange, blue, berry snails. So these were the ones that had the yellow and orange spots on them. Although with the algae, this picture, that doesn't help anything. The purple with the yellow, and then there's green on the, anyways, nitpicking. He takes his pictures there. He runs the website. He runs the shipping, and there's the normal blueberry snails in theory. Here's these peach or pink ones that are out. Or I guess he's calling them orange. But again, right now he's got a ton of fish coming in. Literally now through Wednesday, he got a big order already. And he's got some cool stuff. He always has great prices. But like for instance, I need to get some more of these blacktail koi swordtails. But again, I mean, his shrimp blue bolts $7.99. His blue jellies $2.99. Blue rillies $3.99. His blueberry tetras, which are the new Haifa Sobercon that was featured a year ago in the Amazonas magazine, the blueberry tetra, $8.99. I mean, that's a crazy deal. Plus, use my code FISHTREE10 and you will get FISHTREE all in caps and then 10, and you'll get 10% off all these prices, which is wild. Also, I don't know why this is all weird and like the label is off, but he has some of these Corydorus Sipaluini, I don't know how to say that. Sipaluinii, whatever. But they're cool looking. I Googled them and they are neat. This is moonlightaquatics.com. He does ship. Shipping's a little expensive everywhere right now. But look at this. He's got very unusual rainbow fish. They're completely adult size. These more expensive ones. Most of them are like 3 to 5 inches, the rainbow fish that he has, if he says they're adults. He also has these freshwater moray tiger eels. My friend's had one now next door for like 8 months. It's doing great. Super fascinating to watch. He's got lots of gobies. He's got these ghost dwarf crabs. And again, like I said, he's about to get more on Wednesday, so I'm gonna try to be over there and maybe stream on Wednesday. The cat is eating lettuce again out of the sink. Great. But again, yeah, see a neon dwarf gobies. He's got them for 20, but look at these glossolepis. They're huge. I mean, they're big old fatties. That's the way he's selling them. Gold B Caridina shrimp, $3.99. I mean, his prices are pretty unbeatable. Ivan Cara bimaculata, $29.99. These Imperial Lapis Tetras, these are the ones I have that I absolutely love. Only $7.99. Pretty cool. The other thing on here, he's got like the dwarf Peclatia pleco, the L 080 for $49.99. Leopard frog plecos for $69.99, and these are full grown. Like he had some full growns, and I was like, "What for 69?" Like, I mean, geez, I can't imagine that. Then he's got the false leopard zebra pleco, which is $49.99. He's got the like decorated maze zebras. He's got the king tiger Belamonte. He's also got the albino ones, the L33s, 333s. He's got the little tiny, they never get bigger than this. The dwarf spiny plecos and the sultan plecos. These are an incredibly beautiful pleco. But he's also got, you know, the classic zebra plecos in usually and leopard frogs and these mini snowballs for 49. You can get an adult, so it's probably about 2 years old or a year and a half old from him. Pleco that is a zebra pleco for 119 bucks for a 2.5 or 3 inch long fish. Then you can get another 10% off due to my discount. It's pretty crazy. Also, he's got right now. Oh, I need to get some of these. I need to go up on when I get there on Wednesday. I really hope he's gonna have both of these left because these are a super cool goby that looks like it's wearing camouflage. Also, I just love Stiphodons, but they've got more. He's got about 6 kinds. He also has the Kalitawas in stock, which are an incredibly beautiful fish that I love. I got a few of them, but I need to get a few more. CPOs and also the Milky Way woodcat, so the Galaxia. Super cool. Really neat. Wait, what is that? Orange eye yellow neo shrimp. I don't know if I've ever. Oh, they're Neocaridina with an orange eye. Didn't know that that was a thing even in the hobby. Crazy. But yeah, he's always getting new stuff. A lot of stuff isn't listed, so if I do a stream from there, you'll get a better idea of what else he's got. He has a ton of the auto sinkless last time I looked. He had the striped zebra kind for like 12 bucks, and then for $5.99 he had the normal auto sinkless that we see in the hobby. But he's also got the platinum African dwarf frogs, Pseudomcgill Gertrude that everyone was talking about. Blue eyes work so well with the pistos. Well, there you go. These are a beautiful variety for sure. He's also got rainbow shiners, which is cool. He's got red lizard catfish. He's got more blue eyes for $9.99. The red neon bluegills, and he's also got the arc red pencilfish. This is pretty epic. He's got pygmy Corydoras, so it's Corydoras pygmaeus albino. And that is, I mean, this is a fish that isn't always in stock lately, anyways, but it's pretty epic that they're around. And then for fancy tiger shrimp, if you guys are into shrimp at all, this is bonkers. Like, Grant Eater is a really fair pricer of domestic shrimp in the US. But I mean, this is like some of these are beyond just what they're marked as a fancy tiger shrimp. Some of them are boas, some of them are like fishbone. So it's kind of interesting what all he's got. But those are only $7.99. I mean, I can't believe that he can even afford to sell any of that stuff like that. He's got the red shoulder severums. What else did he have here that I wanted to show you guys? Oh, the Siluaceae ram's horn snail. So they're a little different than the normal ram's horn snails, but they got the big old body. And then super blue emperor tetras, also Stiphodon, Arophusis, snowball bristlenose pleco. Then the true freshwater gobies, gotta love them. These guys, I need to go get these. These tiger gobies, the Schismatogobius ampluvulocus, ampluvinculus. Sorry, guys, I said it too fast. These are epic. They are little hunters down to the core, and they are like 1.5 inches long, but they will hide underneath your substrate and come out and they'll eat like scuds and stuff. He also has a bunch of Biochars, and sometimes he's got, you know, other stuff that's not listed. Like a lot of times he'll have big red-shouldered severums, or like this red-tailed tetra is brand new in the hobby, 20 bucks. Those were going for 40 at another shop locally. Again, he's got basic, really nice quality gold neocaridina. Those are only $3.99. But you can get tangerine caridina for only $4.99. And so again, this website is Moonlight Aquatics. It's always in the description of my videos. Just look in the description down below, and it's there. And just type in the code, all caps, Fishtory, Fish Tory, Fishtory 10, no spaces or anything. Fishtory 10 will get you 10% off, and you'll get those crazy prices that they already have. So pretty cool. And he's a guy who's in his late 20s, and he's really working hard. He's got some really, really cool connections in China. His family lives in mainland China. So we usually meet people that have connections to the Hong Kong fish markets or to Singapore fish markets if they're in the US or Asia. But he has a connection to those, and he knows people that are connected to the actual mainland Chinese ones that have some really interesting stuff, like panda loaches, for instance, that he was selling for $8.99, where there's 30 bucks or 25 bucks everywhere else. So he gets some really cool prices and options, availabilities. Things like longfin types of fish that you've just never seen before. Like you didn't know that, like, for instance, neon cardinal tetras have a longfin variety, or a longfin albino variety for that matter. And he'll get them in. So it's pretty cool. But he's working hard. I will say I usually quarantine his stuff just because it comes from such exotic farms, places, and breeders. Um, and that's no shade on him or anything as far as that goes. Whereas like Dan's Fish, it's so expensive, and at Dan's Fish, you just use the code Alex when you're checking out. Just type in the word Alex and you'll get a discount. If it's your first time, you'll get 10% off everything if you've never registered an email with him before. And I mean, Dan, though, Dan stuff is like no matter what, you're going to get your money's worth. It's going to be breeder quality. It's not going to have any illness like whatsoever. And even though he says, you know, oh, we should quarantine everything, I've never had a problem. I know so many people who have just plop and dropped all his stuff, and it's you get what you pay for, is what I'm trying to say. With anybody who I talk up or promote, you can go to the bottom of the barrel, or you can go to the top of the mountain, so to speak. And there are deals that are better in between, and there are places where you're not getting what you should for what you pay. But I won't shout any of those places out, like Arizona Gardens or anything like that. And there's places that may have access to things like Boost Plant that I really am like, cool, I wish I could get that. But time after time, their follow through, their delivery, and or their customer service, or the advertising gimmicks, or not gimmicks, but the advertising, what's the word? The amount of emails they send your way and stuff like that is not worth not worth it, in my opinion. Whereas all the companies that I promote will never give your email to anybody else. I think that is wrong, and I won't support it. So I'm stepping outside. I need to throw away some Dr. Pepper cans. Out here, it's edging on about 40. I think, what are we at? 45 degrees now. It's getting cold out, guys. We'll see when the first frost hits Seattle. It's actually very late. Usually it hits for sure before Thanksgiving. We usually get like one random one, and then we'll get another one later. But guys, I need to lay down and rest just because I'm starting to swell. You can also see I'm getting, these were shingles like a week ago if you go back and watch the live streams. But they're also now just swollen areas, and like there's fluid in them and all that goodness. So my immune system just kind of takes a licking, and I guess it keeps on ticking, but I gotta call it a night at this point. I am gonna try to stream on Tuesday and Friday of most weeks. Tuesday, I'm gonna try to stream the other way, landscape, as long as I am streaming from home or the internet's working or whatever. And then Fridays, we'll be doing it this up and down portrait way because more people are able to see it that way. It's shared in the shorts segment. So I'm going to go get some rest, but I just love that you guys were around tonight. Maybe we had a little different time, got a little different crowd. Also, thank you very much, Johnny. You are where it's at, man. I haven't gotten, no shade on anybody, but I haven't gotten a lot of super chats lately. I hear it. Everybody's tight on money, and to see a super chat, I'm like, what is that? What's going on? So I do appreciate it. Tip of the hat, wag of the tail to you. No wag of the finger, just a wag of the tail like a happy doggy. Thank you guys. And Linda, have a good night. Kid Kamikaze, Johnny, Linda, Cave of Wonders, Cecil, all of y'all. Cecil Mayberry just wanted to say hello. Well, hello, and I hope you have a wonderful evening. Do I use Amazon? You'll send some gift cards. I do use Amazon. That sounds like a scam. Mike, I don't, no shade. You'll send some gift cards. It sounds like it could be some sort of a trap, but I'm all for it if it's not. Linda Worth, thank you so much for a super chat. You do, yeah, everybody has my email, so if you want, you can. And whenever I get someone sending me money on the channel or whatnot, I always reinvest it for something on the channel. So the newest thing I want to get is an oxygen measuring unit. So an O2 sensor for water, so that we can find out once and for all, like, how much does frog bit versus duckweed versus water lettuce choke out O2 in, say, a week with a filter, without a filter? How much does temperature matter on O2? So, like, they always say that, the temperature matters a lot with oxygen, but does it really in our aquarium? Like, does it matter enough that the fish could live or die based on it, or is it within the margin of error? So some of these things I'd love to test out, but those things are a couple $100 at least, the oxygen sensor. So I don't know. It's something I want to do in the future, but so yeah. All right, you guys. Also, have a wonderful evening. Thanks for being here, and the link to Discord is in the comments. Also, it's been posted in the chat a few times. I can't post links while I'm live, unfortunately. I don't know what genius at YouTube thought that up, but someone did. But if somebody's in here who's got a link to the Discord, it's just fishery exclamation point fishery. It's in the description. There should be a valid link in this video's description. If not here, you could also go to my most recent video. Go to the description there, not live stream, but a video, and you'll find your way there to the Discord. But there's a free part and there's a paid part. You get more. I mean, you get more when you pay more. And I tried to set it to the cheapest level I could, which apparently nowadays is $2.99. They won't let me do 99 cents or $1.99. But some people got grandfathered in, so then it makes people look really shisty later after the fact, like me, because I like the fact that on YouTube I can make it $1.99 for a membership, and that I can still have that level open, because I think that's fair and supportive. If everyone did that to like their top 5 favorite creators, it would allow the channels to exist and to make the content that they enjoy. But I'm always trying to listen to you guys, read your comments, and make sure that I'm trying to cover the stuff that you guys do enjoy. So I will talk to you later. Thanks, Johnny, looking up Temu for aquarium sensors, oxygen sensors. All right, guys, take care of yourselves. Take care of those around you that you love. And like I said, take care of yourselves, or you can't take care of anybody else. But then take care of everyone else around you, too. And I'll see y'all soon. Bye. Boop, 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 boop. Oh, Rapid Roy, that stock car boy. Well, he's too much to believe. You know, he always got an extra pack of cigarettes rolled up in his t-shirt sleeve. He got a tattoo on his arm that say, baby. He got another one that just say, hey, hey, hey. Well,